DJ Rewire for almost 2 years.
My name is...
God bless you, and you are highly welcome to this morning broadcast. I am your humble servant evangelist Collins Yima, greeting you from Valencia City of Spain, and most especially greeting you in the name of the only Lord of the universe, Jesus the Christ. It is 8:53 a.m., 8:53 in the morning, and today being Sunday, 22nd November 2020, I therefore once again salute you. Good morning from Valencia City of Spain. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are residing and when you will be coming across this video to listen to it. May God really bless you. The title of this video is Financial feudalism by Nigerian government against Nigerian masses. Financial feudalism by Nigerian government against Nigerian masses. Financial feudalism is financial mafia. Financial mafia system, mafian control of finance, and by Nigerian government against Nigerian masses. Two things majorly had prompted me to make this video, most especially for the reason of financial and bank account blockage and confiscation against the frontline NSAS protesters in Nigeria. Those who were on the frontline NSAS protests in Nigeria, some of them who suspended their various ventures from diaspora, they went back to Nigeria to execute this protest, not only to execute it, but to be on the front row of the protest, leading the rest of the people and those home base, those famous, influential home base who have the interest of the public at heart, who volunteered and we are committed to leading the protest, even though we are made to know that there is no specific top leader of the protest, but there are people who were on the front line of the protest. As a reason of the postponement of the protest, expecting that the Nigerian government should respond positively to the will of the people as it is written and had been presented to the Nigerian government concerning the NSAS and other content of the will of the people demanded from Nigerian government. So the reverse became the case. Rather than Nigerian government responding to the will of the people, Nigerian government went ahead to imposing their own will upon the people. May God bless you. Mighty God, I bless you for your wonderful kindness, for your love, for having kept me alive and all that are alive today, and most especially those that are healthy. May your name be highly, really blessed now and forever. Once again, in Jesus' mighty name, amen. So as I speak, many people should not actually understand what Nigerian government is doing by blocking the financial accounts of those influential, those upfront protesters to end SARS and to advance the cause of the Nigerian populace from Nigerian government and Nigerian military police and the rest of the terrorist intimidation, robbery, humiliation, killing and massacre against the Nigerian masses, because all these things have been going on for a long time, and those responsible to committing this inhumanity, they commit it and go scot-free. The government do not question them. The Nigerian government do not prosecute them, not to talk of jailing them or executing them. That is taking their life to pay for the life they have been wasting all this while. They do it and go scot-free. As a reason, people begin to understand that even the Nigerian government are in support of the evil going on in the Nigerian society against the Nigerian masses. That is the reason for all these protests. So I am prompted to make this video because I have heard that those frontline protesters' bank accounts have been blocked by the Nigerian government, meaning that they do no longer have access to their own money in their various bank accounts. Whether each of them has little or very huge amount of money, they have no access to it at the moment because their account has been blocked by the Nigerian government. So what I want to bring to public comprehension is that this is a feudalism, and it is a financial feudalism. This is just a hint, it is just an indication of what financial feudalism is all about. The reason of blocking the bank account of the frontline protesters, of the frontline NSAS protesters, is to subject them, is to re-subject them and any other person and all other people who will desire to take the same step they have taken. They are not only the protesters, but they are used as cases example, and they know that the masses depend on them as a result of their influence, as a result of their knowledge, and as a result of their insight and experiences regarding human social affairs. So the government is using this medium to intimidate them because all of us had been subject to that government without many of us realizing that we have been blindfolded. Now we are beginning to demand for what actually belongs to us. This is what we witness. So they are not the only target, but they are the people at the moment. They are the classical example of financial feudalism regarding the NSAS protest and other protests that are yet to come, because I am certain that protests can never end anymore in Nigeria so long as Nigeria government do not comply to see it and to discuss with the Nigerian populace to know actually what the populace need from them, though they know but they pretend they do not know. So long as they do not want to regulate issues, then the social bad condition will compel the people to once again resume the protest. This is what I know for certain. Then, as I continue speaking, these people whose bank accounts have been blocked by the Nigerian government are used as example to instill fear, to intimidate and to humiliate the rest of the Nigerian masses, and to resubject them to that feudal system. The feudal system where the mafia strategically seize opportunities, seize access, seize freedom of oppression, seize freedom of speech, seize freedom of expression from their subjects. They only offer all this freedom to those who actually want to promote, who actually want to be their stooges, those who willingly, who deliberately or by compulsion subject to their system and are willing to carry out the biddings of this feudal government. These are the people they give the free hand to operate, just like Dangote, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. The Nigerian government has endorsed his monopoly of importation, exportation, and production, which is manufacture. It is because Dangote is their number one stooge. He is part of the Nigerian government, though he is not a legal politician, but he is a business mafia. He is a business feudalist working with Nigerian government, and he is just a fronter. The Nigerian government are the people who actually own Dangote, and as we can see it, Nigerian border is only open for Dangote and not to the rest of all other business importers, business exporters, and other manufacturers in the supposedly country known as Nigeria, but only to Dangote. All these things are strategies for financial feudalism. The government deliberately do what they do concerning what I've been saying. It is to seize opportunity, financial opportunity, from the rest of the businessmen so that they cannot thrive to the extent they should thrive. They will continue to operate in mediocrity, and this is to subject all of them to Dangote, disguising under the Dangote company, disguising Nigerian government, disguising themselves to control the rest of the business importers and exporters. Anything anybody would desire to import must be through Dangote. If it is articles or product that Dangote does not import or export, no other person will engage in it. And any other person who wants to import anything or market anything exported or imported by Dangote must go through Dangote, and Dangote being backed by the same Nigerian government. This is to minimize financial capacity of the rest of the businessmen. Then I am talking about businessmen, the millionaire and billionaire businessmen. Not to talk of the poor Nigerian masses. The poor Nigerian masses who are not financially capable to actually feed themselves and take care of their families very well and live competently, as in paying their children's school fees, are educating themselves and living properly to a proper standard of life. All these things are strategies, and this is the reason they make the majority workers' salary, they make it very low. They make it very low that most of the Nigerian civil servants, apart from those in the political sector, not even all of them, the majority of them earn less than 100,000 naira each, while their expenses in every month should be demanding like at minimum of 300 to 400,000 naira for them to meet up with their expenses. All these things are strategy. While the same Nigerian government orchestrated that the senators, the Nigerian senators will be earning huge amount of money, the Nigerian politicians earning huge amount of money, of which I have made mention of in my video that I made in 2018, Poverty, the greatest weapon of Nigerian politicians against Nigerian masses. So it was about all this feudalism, but that was generic. But today I am being specific on financial feudalism by Nigerian government and against the Nigerian masses. As I've said earlier, it is for us to understand that Nigerian government deliberately do what they do. Nigerian government deliberately do what they do against the protesters whose bank accounts has been blocked. This is what they have intended to do. It is not accidental. it is not by surprise. It may seem surprise to many people, but it is not surprise to me because I have foresight regarding what is happening now. This is a system operated by the global mafians. This feudalism is not a new system, as I've repeatedly said in other videos. Feudal system has been in existence for over 4,000 years. So it is of recent that most of the indigenous Nigerians and we, the Biafrans, have begun to know about it. Like myself, I have this knowledge from about 6 years ago, but it has been a very old system. So all this while, Nigerian government have no intention to better the affairs of the Nigerian populace. This is the truth of the whole matter. So this protest is to them a yardstick to cling upon, to begin to commence, to advance, not only to commence, because they have already commenced the financial feudalism, to advance it. Now, the financial feudalism was against most especially the workers and other businessmen. Then there are private individuals for a private group of companies who do not engage in exportation, importation of goods. Neither are they civil servants. But the government have been targeting all of the people, all of the Nigerian masses. And they only give room to those who are willing to obey them. So all this while, they have been looking for avenue to advance this financial feudalism until this protest began and was suspended. Now they use it as a yardstick to begin to arrest those whom they believe to be the frontline protesters and began to block their account, that they do no longer have access to their own finance banked on every Nigerian bank. Then the feudalism is all about threatening this set of people whose bank accounts have been blocked, compelling them through intimidation and through humiliation for them to surrender the protest. This is the whole target. If they should surrender the protest, their bank account will be reopened for them. Then they will have access to their various bank accounts. This is what they did and what they are still doing to some of individual politicians. Like APs, Allen Onyema, like Ojo Zokalu, like most other politicians whom Nigerian government have once upon a time arrested. It is about this financial and industrial feudalism. Why they arrest them? They threaten them that they must comply to support this feudal government system, the robbery government system, or they will lose their assets, they will lose their investment, including losing their own lives if time is not taken. And the government will make them know that they, the government, have the political power, they have the financial power, they have the military power. They even have the religious power because they control most of the religious leaders. Then the genuine Christians, the genuine religious leaders are not actually subject to the government. Then apart from the religious matter, they are not so effective to on their own deliver the Nigerian masses from this tyrannical governance system, from this feudalism. So it is not a happen chance. This is the bottom line of the whole matter I am here narrating. It is not a happen chance. It is a deliberate act of the government, and they have a target. The target is to discourage the protesters, and most especially the frontline protesters, believing that hence they are discouraged by threatening their finance, to make them give up the protest, that the poor masses, those who have no influence, those who are not financially up to, those who have no persuasive voices, will have no choice than to surrender. This is a strategy to compel the protesters to surrender. That is exactly what they are doing. And as I speak, all of the businessmen in Nigeria who based on importation and exportation, most of them will be going bankruptcy. Then some of them will be suffering from financial retrogression. And for them to advance their business and progress the more, they must be subjected to that Nigerian government. They must agree to follow the Nigerian feudal government system and to comply to instructions of the Nigerian feudal government, and to be executing the biddings of the same Nigerian feudal government. This is the bottom line of the whole matter as I have been explaining in this video. This video will not last so long. It is only to bring to us what is exactly playing out regarding the cessation of bank accounts of the frontline protesters. It is about to discourage them. It is about to threaten them for them to give up, to frustrate them, so that first of all they will agree to forfeit the protest, and they will agree to comply to the bidding of the Nigerian government, because Nigerian government is not interested in hearing or accepting the will of the people. Nigeria is built on feudalism. It is built on robbery. It is a game of the mafia. Survival for the fittest. That is Nigerian government for everyone. It is either someone is a member of the mafia, or the person should be a victim to belong to either of the party. They are not interested in negotiating and regulating things. So, however, I will encourage us, the protesters, we, the Biafran agitators, the Oduduwa Republic agitators, not to give up, because if we give up, they will continue to advance in their feudalism, and the matter will be becoming worse and worse day after day, and it will in no time become better. We are the people to compel them to make it better. So it is a fight, it is a war against the Nigerian masses. And we should not forget, it is not only against we alone. It is against our children. It is against all of the present and succeeding generation. So if we keep quiet, if we forfeit the protest, if we forfeit the agitations, that should not make any difference to change things for better. What they continually do is lobbying some individuals to buy them over into the feudal system, enriching them and using them against the rest of the people, as they have been doing. So, my brothers, my sisters, whose bank account has been confiscated by Nigerian government, I feel for you. I feel for you. I am not in your position right now, but I feel for you. And if you can go into my heart, you will realize that I feel it even more than some of you may be feeling it. I mean, some of you, the direct owners of the confiscated bank account. However, I encourage us not to give up, not to be discouraged for any reason. Thank you for listening. The program has come to an end. Until you hear from me once again, and very soon, I remain your humble servant, Evangelist Collins Inyima.